Hey, good morning, real estate world. John Moss for General Property Management, right here in good old Eau Claire, Wisconsin. So I titled this video, Landlords Slammed, Will Wisconsin Supreme Court Save Our Industry? That's not totally true because our, people are always going to need a place to live. So they're not going to destroy our industry completely. They're just going to destroy certain people in our industry, which could be you if you have the wrong thing in your lease. So it's very important that we help everybody we can to push this case into the Supreme Court. I'm going to back up a second and give you a little history. I did a video earlier on this about Koble Investments versus Alicia Markquardt. In that case, Koble Investments tried to evict Alicia Markquardt for non-payment of rent. And it went from small claims court to court, then it went to the Court of Appeals. And in the Court of Appeals, it was decided that Koble Investments had a void lease because they had some sort of illegal wording in their lease and made the lease void. Because the lease was void, the tenant was entitled to get all of the rent paid under that lease. And in this instance, she had been there, I believe, like a year. So all the rent she had paid for a year was to be refunded to her. And because that was in the Court of Appeals, that became law for the state of Wisconsin by case law. So that's the whole state, statewide, okay? And yeah, that's really impactful. So since then now, and I only know this because I got an email 2 weeks ago from attorney Tristan Pettit from Pettit Law. Thank you, Tristan. And in that it says there's 41 class action lawsuits in the state of Wisconsin where tenants want their rent back. Okay, I'm only aware of 6 of them, but there's 41, I guess, and I would bet there are. Think how huge that is. Currently in Wisconsin, we drive down the highway, I-94 or any highway. What do you see from Illinois all the way to Fargo, North Dakota? You see billboards, and on every single billboard, there's the bearded attorney from Nicolay or Nicollet Law, however you pronounce it, saying, were you injured? I want to help you. That's because there's a lot of money in that. Now imagine every one of those billboards says, hey, guess what? I will look at your lease for free. And they want to do that because they know that a large percentage of the leases out there are going to have some kind of illegal language in that lease. With that illegal language in that lease, there's a big chance for big cash return to the tenant, and the attorney can then get paid as well. Okay, so that's really, really bad. Well, thank goodness with Koble Investments, it's been appealed to the Supreme Court, the Supreme Court of the not the United States, Supreme Court of Wisconsin. The Supreme Court has been petitioned. They've agreed to that. There's been a brief filed, and the brief says that, yes, please, Supreme Court, you should probably look at this because it does impact like almost 19,000 of us. And it goes so far beyond the impact upon Markquardt tenant and Koble Investments. It's broad reaching, has a big impact. Please look at this Supreme Court. So my video is asking 2 things. The first one is for you to do anything you can to help encourage this to go forward to the Supreme Court so they can look at this, because it appears that this is totally a mistake that was made in the Court of Appeals. It appears that what should happen if the lease is void, that lease then is defaulted to, like, oh, I guess tenant, you can just walk away. Or if the tenant chooses to stay, then it's a month-to-month lease. It doesn't say the tenant lost money and they shouldn't have to give back the rent because they did use the property anyways for their home. They made their home there. The second thing I'm going to ask is there's a election on November. I'm thinking president here. April 1st, 2025. There's a Supreme Court election. It's huge because these Supreme Court judges for our state are in a term of 10 years. So it's April 1st. please go out and vote, because we need the right justices supporting our laws and supporting the state of Wisconsin and our industry. Thank you very much for watching. I'm John Moss at General Property Management. And just think, because you're a small landlord, you have one unit, you rent out a little house on the East Hill, no big deal, it doesn't impact me. The law is the law is the law. Whether you're a big corporation, you're not exempt from this. And this could come back to haunt any one of us who does rent out property. And it certainly impacts those who are realtors that are trying to help investors buy properties or sell properties. This is huge to our industry. So please take this seriously. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great day.